And good evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Sean Sublett from the Richmond Times-Dispatch, taking you through the thunderstorms that are quite prevalent across the Commonwealth. Richmond has not had as many as several other locations westward to Farmville, eastward towards Hampton Roads and Williamsburg. So let's walk through the radar. It's a very active one, even though a lot of places in immediate metropolitan Richmond have not had the rain just yet, but there is plenty out there to talk about. So let's zoom on in first and help get our bearings. All right, so there's Richmond. This here is all going to be Chesterfield County, Chester, and heading down to Matoaca and Petersburg. And then we're going out 60 through Powhatan, Cumberland, and ultimately on the way out toward Lexington. So as we go through the west side of Richmond, going into Henrico County and extending down into Chesterfield, just on the north side of Swift Creek Reservoir, so we're looking at Brander Mill, Wood Lake. That's the thunderstorm that's just popped up over the last half hour. And as a reminder, this is a 30-minute radar loop. The lighter shadings of greens are lighter rain. Of course, the yellows, reds are where we're getting the heavier rainfall. And the lightning strikes kind of showing up in real time as well. So there's no severe threat out there for the immediate time frame. There are no severe weather warnings out there. All the areas under severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. Let's pan down a little bit, going toward the Appomattox River here into Amelia County, Nottoway County, and extending down toward Keysville, Charlotte County, and Prince Edward. These are the areas here from Blackstone extending closer toward getting towards Swan Quarter and probably even up into Chesterfield Courthouse. This is the area that's seeing some of the heavier thunderstorms right now. Again, mostly just heavy rain. We have not had any reports of true damaging winds or hail with the thunderstorms upstream from Richmond, at least not just yet. But these things are still in the process of developing and getting stronger. No tornadic threat, at least not just yet. So we do expect things to really pick up in coverage and intensity throughout Metro Richmond here in the next 15 to 45 minutes. And this whole area of rain with embedded thunderstorms that extends almost back to Lynchburg will have to push through Richmond between about 7 and 8. So it is going to be a wet time with some thunder and lightning. Now, as we pan a little farther to the south, these are the areas where you see kind of these clusters of yellows and reds. These are the stronger thunderstorms that do have the potential to take on some rotation. Now, to look for rotation, we'll turn on this little tool here. It's called a little scope. And what we do here is look for the interior storm winds. We'll look for areas where the winds are toward the radar and away from the radar. So you can kind of see that a little bit here with the reds and the greens down toward Waverly and heading into Sussex County. But we don't see any very obvious signatures of tornado. Maybe something down here spinning toward Grainesville County, Mecklenburg, and then in those locations. But not an awful lot, at least not just yet. The biggest threat we think for the short term is just going to be a lot of heavy rain and a lot of thunder and lightning. So for the short term, we're okay, but we're still a little concerned as we go through the next 60 to 90 minutes or so. That in mind, all these areas you see in red do remain under the tornado watch until 10 o'clock. That means conditions remain favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms, which means they'll have damaging winds, hail, or the potential for some tornadoes. Reason for that, we've seen the winds in a very deep level of the atmosphere turning as we go up, and that's what's largely responsible for getting any kind of tornadoes to develop. So as we look for any active warnings out there, a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning, there's nothing out there right now. So that's certainly a good sign. Down into Carolina, there is still one severe thunderstorm warning just across the state line from Southampton County down near Roanoke Rapids and west of Elizabeth City. But for the time being, we just have heavy rain, a lot of thunder and lightning, and not an awful lot in the way of winds. But we're still not quite out of the woods just yet. As we go through the next 6 hours, remember the greens and yellows here are showing you where we've got rain. Again, to help get your bearings a little bit, there's Richmond here, Farmville, Tappahannock, and Charlottesville up to the northwest. Move the clock ahead about an hour at a time. We'll catch a nice break we expect for a while in Richmond. There'll be another little batch of showers and thunderstorms that moves through 9:30, 10, 10:30 or so. And then once that's gone, things will quiet down for the rest of the night. So we don't anticipate anybody's going to be woken up by showers, thunderstorms, tornadoes, anything like that after about bedtime. So damaging storms still likely, but we don't expect a widespread severe weather outbreak. Generally through about 9 o'clock is the greatest risk time, with some scattered wind damage expected. If we do get out of this without any wind damage at all, I consider ourselves lucky in dodging the proverbial bullet, because there's some places that have already had hail a fair bit. As we look toward the weekend, it is Friday evening after all, it looks damp and it looks chilly. You might have heard about this, but we expect most of Saturday and Sunday to be in the 50s. It's not a driving rain all weekend long, but both days are going to be several rounds of showers. Ironically, we think there'll be more times when it's not raining than raining, but it could rain just about any time, and we'll have a bit of an east wind, a northeast wind. That's a cold wind. It keeps the clouds in place, and we just do not warm up very much at all. If you got plans for doing the outdoor barbecues for Mother's Day, start having a backup plan, because it's probably going to be wet at least for a little while during the course of the day. One more time, we'll go back to the radar before we'll take a break, but you do just watch everything, just filling in here immediately from Richmond and down to the south, Petersburg to Matoaka, down into Dinwiddie and extending down towards Greensville, Brunswick counties, all the way down to the North Carolina state line. So all this stuff has to come through Richmond over the next 60 to 90 minutes at least. So if you've somehow not gotten any rain yet, you're on borrowed time. Do look for rain, thunder, and lightning, and still the potential for some gusty winds. Not out of the woods regarding that just yet, although we have seen the nastiest weather a little farther to the southeast toward Williamsburg and Hampton Roads, and to a lesser extent back into North Carolina. So that's the story as we see it right now. If you do get a warning on your phone, take it seriously. Just head into the lowest level of your home, stay away from windows, that kind of thing, and just wait the storms out. This is not the kind of situation that lends itself to a massive severe weather outbreak. Stay inside, away from windows, and you should probably be just fine. So thanks for joining us for the live stream this evening. Everybody be safe. And as always, we thank you for supporting the Richmond Times-Dispatch.